Of The Marriage Man. Today we're going to be answering the question, am I married to a narcissist? Now I get asked this a lot in counseling, so I thought I'd do a video on it here to help you, the viewer, kind of have a better understanding of what narcissism is and whether or not it's showing up in your marriage and what to do about it. So, first off, what is narcissism? Now, there's a clinical definition of narcissism that's long, and I don't necessarily want to get into it here, so let's go with a working definition. So this is from my experience as a counselor. When I have seen narcissists in counseling, what does that look like, and how do I tell? So the easiest way for me to tell is, how do they look at themselves? Because for most of us, when we think about ourselves and we think about our role in the various stories of our life, we can take on one of three roles. So we could be the hero of our story. So this could be like, hey, I'm such a blessing to my family, or I'm such a good worker, or hey, I'm a good friend. It's seeing ourselves in a positive light. So that's being the hero. There's also being the victim. Being the victim is not having any control over your life. It's, man, my work really sucks, but I can't leave. Or, man, somebody cut me off in front and that made me really angry. Or it could be, wow, this person really mistreated me and it just ruined the rest of my day. So we could be the victim, but we could also be the villain. And a villain doesn't necessarily mean that you're twirling your mustache and you're this horrible person. It means, can you see evil within yourself? Can you see your own flaws? Do you see that sometimes you start fights? Sometimes you're the one that's wrong and you're the one that needs to apologize. Can you see that? Because with a narcissist, a true narcissist, and again, this is a working definition, with a true narcissist, they will never, ever see themselves as a villain. It is never their fault. It is not a bad situation. And when you push the issue, when you say, well, hold on, don't you think you have something to do with this? Don't you think it's kind of your fault? They can't go there with you. So they have to go one of other two routes. They either have to be the hero and they're right, they see it correctly, they're a good person and you just need to recognize that. Or they're the victim. It could be, well, yeah, I lost my temper, but you made me do it. It's you and all your nagging and your constant whatever that brings it out in me. I'm not actually a villain. And when it does show up, it's because something's happened out there that's just brought it out in me. And so that's kind of a good working definition of a narcissist, is that it's somebody who is not comfortable owning the bad parts of their personality, owning the faults and the flaws within themselves. And so when you're married to somebody like that, you're not going to pick up on it right away. In fact, initially, they're going to look like the hero. They're going to look like maybe a victim. But as things go on, you start to notice, well, hold on, they never take responsibility. They never own that they were wrong there. It's always this other person's fault, or it's my fault, or whatever. And that can be hard, because when they genuinely are the villain, when it's genuinely their fault and they won't own it, it means that they won't change. And in fact, they need you to change, to kind of adapt to that. And you're willing to do that for a while, but you can't make a long-term relationship work on that. And so it can be really hard being married to a narcissist. Now, I also want to throw out that sometimes when people ask me these questions and I do some digging, it turns out this person actually isn't a narcissist. And so what do I look for? How do I kind of help distinguish between the two? Because I want to give you those tools. So the easiest way that I look for is, okay, the way that your partner is treating you, okay, are they treating anyone else that way? Or is it just you? Are they comfortable owning their faults at work? Are they comfortable owning their faults with their friends or their family members, but not in front of you? Then if they're okay owning that elsewhere, they're probably not a narcissist. But if they treat everybody else the same way they treat you, meaning they're very, very careful about how they craft the image. And usually, here's the thing, if you are married to a true narcissist, nobody is going to believe you. Nobody's going to believe you because they have spent a lot of time and energy and effort making sure that the only people in their life, the only people who are in their life, see them as a hero or see them as the victim. And if there's anybody like a family member or an ex that sees them as a villain, they have cut that person out of their life to where they have almost no influence. In fact, they probably do have no communication with that person at all. So if there's people in your partner's life that they've literally just cut out and they can't really give you a good reason why, they could be a narcissist. But if they're willing to, hey, have people in their life that disagree with them and will call them on their bullshit, they're probably not a narcissist. And so let's say you're here, you're watching this video, and that's you. You know, you're starting to say, well, hold on, maybe my partner's not a narcissist, Gabe, based on what you've said. Well, what's going on there? And it could be that, honestly, maybe your partner's in pain. Maybe your partner is hurting. Because when all of us are hurting, we tend to become very narcissistic. You know, think about it, the last time you were sick, the last time you were injured, like badly injured. You tend to not care about other people when you're in pain. And if your partner is acting like a narcissist just with you, but not with everybody else, then the problem isn't with them, it's with the both of you. It's with this relationship, it's with this marriage. Maybe this marriage has become a source of pain. And I'll be honest with you, that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, marriages are a source of pain. It's what I call the price of admission. You want to have a marriage, you want to have a serious relationship, pain is the price you pay. But ideally, you get a lot of good stuff too. But if your marriage has become nothing but pain or numbness, it's like it's not really a source of life and health, then your partner's going to act that way. And if that's the case, you know, I'm going to speak about that in other videos. But for right now, what I would encourage you is stop thinking that your partner's a narcissist and start thinking that maybe the marriage isn't that great. And maybe it's the marriage that needs to change rather than your partner. All right? Well, I hope that helps, and I will see you guys in the next video. As always, leave a like, leave a comment. I read them pretty regularly, and I'd love to hear from you guys. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.